volume players, a lot of times you see them just getting really comfortable in a particular style and just over and over and over again. So I wouldn't be surprised to see nice early pool, maybe 14, 14, 13, 12, something like that.
Here we are, though, on Dusk Towers, of course, aka Lens Flare map. In the bottom left-hand corner from Carnage Esports, we have the Blue Zerg player, Namshar.
And his opponent spawning in the top right area of this particular Lens Flare type map. We have the red Oh, they switched colors! It's Acer's Bly! Why would you do this to us? Oh, God.
Terrible
Why?
people they are. Terrible
Why?
people.
Oh, why? Oh, man. Well, you know, that's okay. That's okay. If you're a player out there and you consider ever getting in a tournament, remember this. Just pick a color and stick to it, guys. Bly's red this time around. Just keep that in your brain. And, don't worry, Bly's going for a really aggressive build again, so we'll be able to know it's him because of the build.
Same everything. So we'll be able to be, oh, that's his ling. That's an aggressive ling right there. But what I always hate is when they pick purple or pink as Zerg, and you're like, I think something's moving across the creep. Something's happening right there. This map, though, I haven't seen that much ZVZ on, and that should be 100% true because early on in this tournament there was no mirror matchup. This is our first one, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Both players opening almost up exactly how they did before. Yeah. I think the largest difference in games 1 and 2 is the third base is just such a huge ramp into the third bases of both players that if we do see the big roach pushes, it's much harder just to spine wall off or spore something off.
Yeah, it almost reminds me that that color comment you made earlier, that Huck in the days of Wings of Liberty beta used to always pick green because most of the maps were green and he would get away with more sneaky stuff that way. Before players realized that they should always select allied colors, so you always see your opponent as red and you see yourself as green. The colors are a little bit brighter too. It's brighter than regular red, regular green.
Exactly, and with Game Heart, I know, if you have Game Heart on, I don't know if the players see it, but I know the commentators and us as observers, everything is much more vibrant, and Game Heart is amazing. The colors, you're just like, wow, I want to watch this Ling run across the screen for 20 minutes.
Ryan Shooter is the man, noted. And we've got the same exact play here. The Lings are coming out. Everything gets scouted at the same time. Excellent scouting here. Moving in. Oh, catches the queen off creep. This is a big win for the early game. Cutting down the larva count of your opponent, really huge in these kind of scenarios because the main disadvantage you have is the larva of the two-hatch player. Nicely morphing in those banelings and actually blocking off the queen. Excellently done there. We have more Lings spilling in over here. If you can get them to detonate the Banes in the right way, we should have a good position. Nicely done. One Bane down. If he gets the other one, he'll be okay.
Oh,
all right,
nice.
One Bane left. This Bane has to take out all these Lings right now, and it's looking like excellent control. Oh my God, it's so close, back and forth. Nice control, excellent flanking, and surround by Namshar here. Namshar is absolutely wrecking. Excellent defense.
I love that point in ZVZ where like, oh crap, I shouldn't actually detonate my Baneling now. You finally get the Lings around, like, there's only 3 left, maybe not. But just a note, 7 workers went down. In the previous games, only 5. That is a nice little influx or more workers killed by Bly. He may be able to take a lead off that, but for now he's got to defend this. And by the way, we have 1 Baneling meandering across the map for Namshar. Bly's got to be careful not to engage too soon or not to actually pursue them, but both players are going to pass each other in the night and be aggressive again into the main bases respectively.
Absolutely, and we do have those 3 Banelings morphing in. The special beautiful Baneling has been running away from these Lings for a while. 3-1 is not super bad. It's not cost efficient, but it's pretty close to even. So he'll take that trade, but nothing to defend except for these 2 Banelings. In the meantime, nicely done. The first Baneling really mitigates this attack and allows these reinforcements to come through in the second Baneling. Oh, Namshar performing beautifully in this early game stage, allowing him to do quite well. Unfortunately, has not been able to squeeze out too many drones in the process, however.
Even though Namshar hasn't been able to do that, instantly when he got those Baneling kills in his natural base, he threw down double gas and threw down a layer. He said, oh, that was it. That was the lucky shot I needed right there. And both players pretty darn even on layer, but we're seeing a lack of Roach Warren this time from Namshar. Oh, Seeking.
from Namshar. We are seeking. Everything is fine. Don't worry about a total thing.
We just
we
skipped
are
the spires.
A-okay.
Spires are down.
The spires are
down.
down. They're coming out, and there's absolutely not a care in the world. Third base down here for Bly. Going to go ahead and be able to defend this with queens relatively easily. Not a whole lot of units on the map right now, but we do have a pretty big influx coming out from Bly, excuse me. 10 more lings on the way.
I love how it skipped perfectly to the spires, Snaz. Both spires pretty darn even. A lot of aggression still coming out for Namshar, at least a lot of defense here. He's got so many lings, so many banelings. Third base of each player is taken. Great spread, though, of Bly. He's also taking it a lot. I don't like that. Maybe that's for spores and spines. The defense is third a little bit better. Oh! Decent baneling shots. Got to be really careful right here. Only one baneling alive for each side, and they can't afford to morph anymore. They need that gas bank to be able to make as many as many muses as they want. And by the way, they both know that the other player has a spire down.
Yep, getting that perfect scouting information, and we're going to have the lovely, the beautiful Muta versus Muta. And one of the coolest things ever, when there's lag or pauses, we get to skip them in replays. Isn't that nice? It's fantastic.
So 6DS.
Apparently, the hatcheries are on 6 for Namshar, giving him the distinct advantage of is the number 6. And we have a run by over here for
there's no banelings, right?
Get over here. Yeah, no banelings either
Wrong
way.
color.
Baneling coming out over here for Namshar, but not going to be able to catch this baneling group in the back. Really nice scouting job here by Bly. Not too much damage done, but he has been able to get a good handle on everything that's going on. Now, we are in a Muta versus Muta situation. Talk about it, DrennoC. Tell me about the Muta versus Muta.
Well, for now, we do see a slightly quicker carapace for Namshar, which is always really important in Muta v Muta. And I think the biggest thing is if you are down, which both players are pretty darn even, Bly a little bit is far behind, but he wants to keep these lings alive for the Muta v Muta fight so they can soak up damage below and soak up some of those bouncing glaives. For now, though, Namshar got a little bit out of position.
Oh my god, this is really aggressive.
Ooh. Bly could have taken a nice
Oh, he's running into the corner here. You might get a couple shots off. This can get really scary. One Mutalisk down already. The second one might get down. Oh, we might 2 more already down. And this is one of the scary things about Muta versus Muta. It begins to spiral out of control. The Muta counts, by the way, at this point in time are 10 to 14 in favor of Bly. Namshar, crap, they changed colors.
I know, same thing was happening to me. Namshar does have that slight carapace lead, as I was talking about earlier, and he should be able to take a deciding engagement, but now you do not want to engage right here. It is not 14-14, it's 16-15, kind of even, whatever, but Namshar has the lead at the same time. Lings in the middle of the map are pushing across, and Namshar is making one huge push all over the place. There should be the defender's advantage for Bly, but there's no more meters coming out for him.
Finishing up, he's going to have to disengage here. Excellently timed out. Going to be able to save some of his Mutalisks, but he is still behind. That difference, by the way, having just a few Mutalisks in the Muta versus Muta battle is gigantic. You end up with like 10 more at the end of the battle when you get into the big one. So
it's 17 versus 12, even with queens. These Mutas of Namshar could just decimate the forces of Bly right here. He may be able to completely kick them down. There is a couple of queens out for Bly, but they're not going to be there in time. Namshar,
no, he's getting wrecked. He's losing a lot of Mutalisks here. Finally, we get the transfuses and the queens able to help, but he was able to take that engagement on the side, Muta versus Muta, with no assistance, and able to retain the lead in Mutalisk at this point in time. Meanwhile, lots of harass. Bly coming through and preventing the gas income of Namshar as much as possible, and that is really what we're talking about here. This is a battle of gas.
Bly also killed that third base, which is exactly what you're just saying, denying that. Not only denying it, but as I said, killed the third base a little bit earlier on with those ling harassments. The ling harassments of Bly have been phenomenal. Maybe that's where his attention has been. That's why a couple of his mutas have gotten off track. And again, like I was saying, I want to see these mutas fight with lings underneath them, soak up a little bit more of those bouncing glaives, but they can't right now because Bly is so down aggressive with the lings, and he's got that third base. How much more gas? He's got about 200 to 300 gas more a minute, which does equal about 2 to 3 more mutas.
Yep, absolutely, and that is going to make a difference. We do, however, have the transition. A lot of times you see Muta versus Muta have no transition, never happened, but the risk is being taken here by Bly, being behind initially in the Muta count, who is now ahead. However, really difficult to tell when you're the player, you know, how ahead or behind.
Oh yeah, it's so hard. You can't count mutas.
Flocks of mutas, being like, oh yeah, I think I have one more than him. Look at that. Just really tough. Using these lings as well. The queens on the ground. Really nice defensive position over here. We got 6 queens and able to take out some links here and there, moving forward. And the defender's advantage.
not with
Oh,
the
I don't know about
queens,
this
not
engagement
with
from
the
Bly here. The
queens.
queens with the transfuses are going to help out quite a bit. And
GG,
that's it.
right
GG. Well played from Bly there.
Bly able to hold on for his third just a little bit while longer, able to secure those gases, and man, you cannot take an engagement muta v muta when there's 6 queens or 5 and they have so much energy. All the transfuses were there. Wow, currently 2-1. Bly taking game 1, losing game 2 to Namshar. Or Bly won, right? Yeah, Bly won.
Yes.
Because the color changed. The color change was like,
Bly
oh, wait
won.
a second. Oh my word. Oh.
Yep, so I believe. So what is the score now, though, that Bly won?
It is 2-1 currently for Bly.
That's right. Right. So Bly looking in a pretty nice spot here. The aggressor being pretty consistently here, the aggressor. And moving forward, just really nice how that was looking pretty rough for Bly, but he was able to pull it back with that queen control and taking the right engagements at the right time with those.
Great decision making from both of them, and all through the series in games 1, 2, and 3, I like that they've been doing the same thing and kind of feeling it out, saying, okay, you know what, I know my build can work, you just kind of got in here, you got in this chink of my armor and able to utilize that and capitalize off it. So I like that it's both been back and forth, them trying to figure